The previous aerial videos we made was achieved by a Mavic Air 2, which is a very old entrance-level machine. And it is good enough to meet our resolution and frame rate needs. But for a yellow card drone pilot like me, every single flight is a risk. The small entrance-level drone is more risky because I don't dare to fly it in a windy day or in an unfamiliar environment. It easily crashed because no sensors on left or on right side. So in order to save some money for the company, I choose to put all the money on the Mavic 3 Pro Cine. I went for a travel with the Mavic 3 Pro, and here's my conclusion. Either you're talking about the filming performance or the portability, this drone is undoubtedly good. It's very competitive. When I finally get rid of the old drone, the freshness of a new device makes me so excited. Before, when filming with the Air 2, there was only wide-angle camera. As for the beautiful view on far, there was no way to capture it. And if I want to do close-up shot after that, either the drone will be too close to shoot safely, or the battery dies before the drone even gets close. Especially for a rookie pilot like me, the video I shot normally plain and lack of details. But now the focal length might help me. Mavic 3 Pro has 3 different focal lengths: 24mm, 70mm, 166mm wide coverage, and they all has different usages. Shooting sun, for example, the sun will be a very small one in wide angle. Shooting by 7x 166mm focal length, the sunset on the telephoto reddened the entire sky. With 7x telephoto, 4K 60fps is the highest quality it supports. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to go to the snow mountain. But if we did, using 166mm telephoto to shoot 4K video on that would be so cool. But still, the telephoto does a nice job in city too. For example, the compression brought by telephoto is also impressive, especially in cities like mine, where buildings are closely distributed. Staring at the buildings from far, the compression is so amazing. In short, when it requires a sense of a compression or shooting distantly, the 7x telephoto is very useful. But sadly, there's no D-Log but 709 color gamut. In the later stage of color matching, the tolerance will be slightly lower, and do pay attention to match color with the other materials. But honestly, it is hard to achieve it by later stage. So it would be better if they can add D-Log in the future. Relatively speaking, on low sharpness picture, 7x telephoto is only an additional feature. And this time, Mavic 3 Pro is added a 3x lens equivalent to 70mm mid long focal length, which is the heart of Mavic 3 Pro. It is more practical than 7x. With this camera, wide angle is only used for finding shooting position. Then use 3x telephoto to shoot. Good thing about 70mm is to shoot on D-Log, so no need to worry about the color matching. It has a wider usage when shooting in the city and low altitude. Very suitable for shooting clear subject images. Compared to 7x telephoto, the resolution and clarity of the image are much better. But as the same, the highest resolution can only capture 4K 60 frames. If it achieved 4K 120 frames, this will be a checkmate. .24mm wide-angle main camera can capture up to 5.1K 50 frames per footage. That exactly matches the frame rate of other materials in our video. Among these three lenses, the ultra-wide-angle main camera is absolutely the best in terms of the resolution and clarity of the image. Aperture can be adjusted freely from f2.8 to f11. I can lower down the shutter on sunny days even without installing an ND filter, and to get better graphics at the same time. The three lenses basically cover most commonly used focal segments. Excellent image quality when there's ample daylight. But there's still a lot of noise at night. The highest ISO volume is only 1600. When I was trying to make some pictures of a bird at dusk, shutters was not fast enough. That caused the shape image remains blurry under the swaying water surface. Sometimes shooting time-lapse is very stable. Sometimes it's shaking because the wind blows. This time out, we spent around 5 days for shooting, and the storage is very limited. If using ProRes format, which consuming the storage rapidly, the 1TB storage it contained will be finished soon. Therefore, I still choose the H.264 encoding format with a higher compression rate. And in our workflow, although everyone is using Apple computers, but the material will be transcoded before editing. Then we will select H.264 encoding when outputting videos. So by far, even ProRes encoding format is exclusive on Cine, but it won't be our option for now. After my several comparison between H.264 and ProRes under the same environment, there will be no much difference. Back in the old days, TV stations were always playing aerial videos, although the image was very blurry and shaking, but that was my first time being above the cloud. This time out of shooting, I saw drones were everywhere. Some was hanging on trees, some was flying right above the heads. It was totally chaos. So I hope the pilots could pay more attention on safety purposes while wandering through the beautiful views. Mavic 3 Pro is equipped with omnidirectional obstacle sensing. Despite it is hard to test this safety function, but I still decided to give it a try because no one knows when and where you're gonna need it. We rubbed the network cable and earphone extension cable together, although these cables are a little bit slim, but we will make do with it. Flying towards the front, the cable is detected and it stopped flying. We even tried faster speed. It will slow down first, then stop when it's close to the cable. Now we're flying it by sideways. Surprisingly, it couldn't detect the cable successfully. But as expected, the wall is easily detected. So how about flying backwards? The detection still failed. And now let's do another test. That led the drone to follow people who is in this small path inside the grass. If it thinks they can pass through, it won't blindly elevate itself. It will try to maintain the altitude you set for it at the beginning. It will slightly adjust to the left, right, up and down to follow you. Although the grass were really tall, it almost hit it sometimes, but it will stop in time while focusing the camera on you. Adjust the altitude until it thinks can pass through safely. So is Mavic 3 Pro Cine worth buying? If you are not short of budget and want to upgrade your drone, then it is worth buying. In addition to 3 cameras with rich focal length, there is also screen remote control, a battery which enough for 30 minutes flying, then still come back with 15% left. The Mavic 3 Pro Cine is the portable drone that you can buy, which is balanced on performance and parameters. What is commendable is that no matter how much the Mavic series upgrades its performance, I can still take it out with a crossbody bag. But if you're just like me, who's not really good at flying drone, knows nothing about shooting techniques, or how to create stunning pictures, then it's not necessary to go for such an expensive drone. $4,800 Mavic 3 Pro Cine Premium Combo is not recommended for personal use, unless it fits your working purpose and for public use. Because the 1TB storage and the ProRes on the body are not necessary configurations, and the 1000 nit RC Pro is just a slightly brighter remote control. On the contrary, the Flight Mode combo, which contains 3 batteries and the filter basic level RC, meets the most shooting needs, and the $3,000 is a way better price. At last, Mavic 3 Pro Cine Premium Combo, TestV gives 7.5 as the subjective overall score.
TestV, 帮你 try before you buy.